A big solar storm might happen soon, and it could make our internet stop working for a long time, maybe months. If the internet fails, the consequences could be devastating, causing billions of dollars of losses per day to the U.S. economy and impacting the production and supply chains for essential materials like food and medicine. But scientists at NASA are seeking to prevent such a catastrophe with the launch years ago of a probe that will allow them to study and prepare for how a solar storm could affect the planet's infrastructure. So, how likely is it that humankind could face what many have deemed the internet apocalypse? Solar wind happens when charged particles from the sun's outer atmosphere, called the corona, spread out into space, as explained by NASA. It's not as thick as the wind on Earth, but it's super speedy, usually blowing at a rate of 1 to 2 million miles per hour. Because of the winds created by solar storms near the sun, their effects can reach Earth. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections are what cause these storms. They send out solar particles and electromagnetic radiation in the direction of our planet. As the frequency of coronal mass ejections rises during its 11-year cycle, which NASA predicts to be in 2025, the sun's electromagnetic activity reaches its highest point. This period, known as the solar maximum, means that the chances of disruptions on Earth become greater. This activity could lead to geometric storms, which might disrupt satellite signals, radio communication, the internet, and electrical power grids. This could cause a technological collapse. In 2021, a study conducted by Sangeetha Abdujyothi, a computer science expert at the University of California, found that there is a 1.6 to 12% possibility that a long-lasting internet disruption might happen in the next 10 years because of a solar storm. A powerful solar storm in 1989 resulted in a 12-hour-long electrical blackout across Quebec, affecting millions of Canadians and leading to school and business closures. However, the most severe solar storm on record, known as the Carrington event, occurred in 1859. This historic event caused fires at telegraph stations and disrupted communication by preventing messages from being sent. Years ago, the space agency released the Parker Solar Probe in an effort to prevent what the Weather Channel referred to in a June report as the Internet Apocalypse. The spacecraft launched in 2018 on a journey that in 2021 brought it close to the sun's surface, entering its upper atmosphere, the corona, where the solar wind is generated, according to NASA. It was there where the probe endured harsh conditions to gather vital information about the sun, which NASA researchers said lead to new insights about how solar winds reach supersonic speeds and impact the larger space weather system. Because of the probe mission, NASA also earlier this year learned that the solar wind could be largely fueled by small-scale jets of energy, known as jetlets, at the base of the corona. More recently, NASA created a new computer model that combines artificial intelligence and satellite data that could sound the alarm for dangerous space weather, like a cosmic tornado siren. The new technology can predict where an impending solar storm will strike Earth with a 30-minute warning. Vital minutes that could be the time needed to prepare and prevent severe impacts on power grids and other critical infrastructure. An international team of researchers at the Frontier Development Lab have been using artificial intelligence to look for connections between the solar wind and geomagnetic disruptions that wreak havoc on technology. An AI method called deep learning allows researchers to train computers to recognize patterns based on previous examples. There could one day be solar storm sirens that sound an alarm in power stations and satellite control centers around the world. NASA researchers predict just as tornado sirens wail in advance of threatening terrestrial weather in towns and cities across America.